So I don't usually come on YouTube and talk about current events, but this Nancy Guthrie thing has just rocked me. I mean, I can't stop watching the coverage of it. I'm praying that she's okay and we can get her back alive. So I'm consuming it, and it's just on my mind all the time right now. And so I thought I'd come on here and talk about it a little bit, because I think we're being misled, like big time. I don't believe the ransom thing at all. I don't believe it at all. And the only place we're getting that from is like, news outlet like TMZ and all that. We know about the letters that have came in and the demands, and we know about the videos that the siblings are doing. But I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday, there was a podcaster. She is on the Drop Dead Serious podcast. And she's not just somebody that started a podcast recently. She's been in the news, and she used to anchor somewhere, I believe, for the last 40 years. And now she's got a podcast. So she's got a lot of relationships in the FBI and stuff like that. So she says that she has a high-level, impeccable source that the son-in-law, Annie's husband, is the main suspect. Now, I know a lot of places aren't reporting that, and after that, they did do a news briefing, and the sheriff basically really pushed back on that they had no person of interest or suspects, and they were pushing back on that narrative a little bit. But I think it's credible, and they have spent a lot of time at Annie's house, like the investigators. They were back there last night, a week after she's gone missing. They were back at Annie's house collecting stuff, and they've impounded the car, and it's in evidence. So we're not hearing anything really from the sheriffs and the FBI. Not really. All the questions are, they just can't answer. And so they're trying to keep things close to the vest in case this ransom thing is true. But I don't think it's true. I don't even think it's close to being true. I don't think they're operating as if it's true. The only people that are operating as if it's true, in my opinion, is the family. But I mean, why would they impound that car? They know she was in that car because she was taken home by either Annie or her husband or both, which they put out that it was him earlier in the week, and then they backtracked and said it was a family member. So they're trying real hard not to say this guy's name. But why would that car be in evidence? It's obviously got her DNA in it. She did ride in it, but it was supposedly a few hours before the abduction happened. So why? And they even canvassed the neighborhood that Annie lives in. It's not even the crime scene, as far as we know. And so I think there's something going on with that whole thing. I mean, they were there last night, and the reporters could see pictures being taken inside the garage. And they were there for a couple hours collecting stuff, and came out of the house with stuff. So why is that? Why? That's not even the crime scene. As far as the public knows, there's nothing that happened at that location. Now, I did hear a report that the night that she had dinner with him, there could have been an argument, and it could have been about money. But that was, I don't even remember where I saw that, so that's probably not credible. I think the best case scenario is if the ransom thing is true, and that she's still alive, and that they can get her back. And so I guess that's what I hope for. But I really feel like there's something else. Like they haven't confirmed hardly anything to us. And they have spent a lot of time over Annie's house. And I don't remember, I think I saw one picture of Annie and her husband driving during this last week. He's not been around anywhere. So I really think there's some suspicion there. And I mean, obviously the family would be aware of that, but maybe they just don't believe it. And I think the news is having a hard time reporting on that because of Savannah. I think they don't want to say something about Savannah's family that might be wrong indeed. So I think because she's in the media, they are being very careful about accusing her family. I think the media is doing that, which, I guess I get that, I really do. But I think this whole ransom thing, it's all TMZ. And like I said, the family, they may be clinging to that, but why would they spend so much time at Annie's house? It's not even where she went missing from. They've got blood at Nancy's house, and it's her blood. Can you imagine if there's blood in that car, Annie's car? If there's blood in there, then there's a problem. So anyway, I think this ransom thing is a distraction. Now, if for some reason the ransom thing is true, which would be really crazy. I mean, this is stuff out of movies. What's happening? I don't think it really happens like this in real life. I don't think. But just say the ransom thing is true, and the people that have her are the ones doing these letters. The message that Savannah put out last night really sounds like they're just trying to get their mother's remains back, in my opinion. Because it was real cryptic, but she said want her to celebrate with her, and that was important to them, and they would pay. I mean, that sounds like, and we were already told that the second letter didn't have proof of life in it, and it didn't have ransom demands in it. So what was in that? Nobody has even said what's in that letter. Obviously something's in that letter and it could be that, hey, something happened. We didn't have her medication and something happened. So now, I don't know. It's all speculation. Like I said, this thing is kind of consuming me a little bit. I pray that she's okay. Like I said, I think the best case scenario would be that the kidnappers have her, and that the family pays the ransom, and they get their mama back. And that's what I hope happens. But I really feel like there's something going on with this whole, maybe not Annie, but her husband. There's too much activity in Annie's neighborhood and Annie's house. They're spending as much time there as they are where they found her blood. There's a reason for that. And they're not telling us anything. So anyway, that's kind of my prediction. I feel like it's going to be probably the son-in-law. I hope I'm wrong. For their family's sake. But they have to be, I don't even think the news is really reporting on that. They saying that, there's investigators over at Annie's house, but they're not, the media doesn't seem to be asking too many questions about that. They kind of gloss over it. Like they're just covering all their bases. But they've impounded that car. Annie's car, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, was taken into evidence. That was done for a reason. Not, if all they did was take her home that night and go back home in that car, there's no reason. There's no reason to have that car. So, anyway, I just, like I said, it's on my mind, so I figured I'd come on here and talk about it. And I think the ransom thing is just a red herring, and I don't think there's any truth to it. I think that we're all paying attention to it real closely, but it's really fantastical. It's you couldn't write a movie script this insane. So anyway, I think it's going to wind up being a lot simpler than that. I hope not. I pray not. I pray that she is alive and okay. That's what I want. But I just feel like we're not getting enough information, and there's a lot of stuff being done that looks like, what would it be for? Anyway, that's my take.